Mortal Kombat!
We're gonna make it after all. What you know about the Mary Tyler Moore Show? Wait, no, that's not Mary. Yeah, was that Mary Tyler Moore or was that Laverne and Shirley?
Hell if I know.
Laverne and Shirley was funny, but the only reason I remember that is because I used to leave my TV on at my dad's house because he let me have a TV because yay divorce, and I used to have the TV on all night, and I'd be watching Nickelodeon. And then I'd wake up at like 2 a.m.
Nickelodeon.
And I used to wake up and there'd be fucking Mary Tyler Moore or like an old episode of MASH or something like that. It scared the shit out of me. Or I Love Lucy.
MASH
Like,
scared you?
well, I don't know.
More never changes.
Well, never. Yeah. Well, it was some kind of show like
Can you
that.
believe there was transvestites in the
Oh my God. I'm trying to remember the old Nick at Night back when I was like 8 years old. So this was 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I was 8 years old. I'm trying to remember what was all on Nick at Night. Because I know it was Happy Days. Cheers was still a relatively new show. So it wasn't Cheers. I don't think it was Golden Girls quite yet. Because this was 1998.
I Love Lucy, probably.
You what?
I Love Lucy.
Yeah, it was I Love Lucy. I think MASH.
Bewitched.
Laverne and Shirley. Yes, there was some Bewitched in there.
Gilligan's Isle.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember because I never understood any of them, but I waited until 5, 6 o'clock whenever Nickelodeon Arcade came on, followed by a half hour of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Was that early in the morning?
Yeah, that was my Saturday mornings. I was a terrible sleeper then, and I'm a terrible sleeper now. And no input from Ricky. Great.
I think we lost him again.
Yes, I am recording. So right now, Ricky is actually going to take his first drink of the night. I have myself some wonderful fruit punch moonshine. So bottoms up.
Ooh, yeah.
Sugarland?
Ooh, I think Sugarland. I don't know. I just poured it into a shot glass and just took it. So
I don't know. Some guy out behind the 7-Eleven gave it to me for $10. I don't know what this shit is.
I suck it out of a tube.
no, fuck that.
You fall for that one time.
No, the bottle's in the kitchen, and I'm in the bedroom, so I'm in the recording studio.
Nice. Andy, what are you drinking?
Jim Beam Peach.
Ooh.
And you're drinking your Laney's?
I'm drinking apple cider and Fireball mixed in a McDonald's cup because I am classy as fuck.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, that sounds like he's drinking some Angry Balls there.
That's what I said. But not quite, because it's not Angry Orchard, or he has Fireball, I guess.
Boy, I sure do miss those days of going to Wings, etc., and ordering a tower of beer and just paying like $40 for them to do it with Angry Orchard and then to mix the fucking Fireball in there.
And then just being blackout drunk and not remembering the rest of the day.
Yeah, nothing like being blackout drunk at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's how you do it.
Go home and we just drink more, and everybody's like, fuck it. We'll just all call off from work.
God, the worst part about being day drunk has got to be like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Whenever you're like good and drunk because I used to fall into this trap when I used to go out to watch March Madness. I used to get like good and drunk by 2, 3 o'clock and not pace myself. And then by like 6, 7 o'clock, I was ready to go home and throw up and pass out. And I'm like, I still have 5.5 hours of basketball to watch, and I got to be back up the next morning to watch basketball.
Oh, it's sleepy time.
It was sleepy time.
It's not weldy time.
To be fair, that to me though, I mean, Andy will tell you, like, I'll go hard as fuck, like, as soon as I get home. So between, like, we'll say, like, between, like, 7 and 9, I'm like, yeah, I am good and crunk. 10 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to bed.
At least you make it to 10 o'clock. I mean, there's been a couple of years where I did March Madness where I didn't even make it to, like, 4.
Shame.
I know.
Shame upon you
But
both.
I am here for a good time, not a long time.
Well, I've also learned that doing March, it's been a few years since I've done the March Madness thing, but I have learned that partying during March Madness is definitely an art and not a science, because doing it as a science means I've tried it over and over and over, but now it's an art because I perfected it. And I'm like, I only allow myself like a beer, no shots until later in the night, because one weekend I did do that, like Thursday and Friday games, and like when the 9 o'clock games on Friday rolled around, that's when shit turned up, because we were all at the bar and like everybody was there and they started showing up and it was a Friday night party and we're all watching basketball. That's when the shots went down, literally, both basketball and probably Jaeger.
Ugh.
Hey, come on, I'm in my mid 20s.
But
I was in my mid 20s.
but
Yeah, now I can't do that anymore.
yeah, because it's garbage.
It's fairly it's fairly garbage. This is the Retro Smash Video Game Podcast. Wherever you are, wherever you may be listening, thank you for hanging out with us today, live from the Gene Parmesan Memorial Studios. The gentleman joining me here in the booth and across the Retro Smash Video Game radio, TV, internet, cup on a string network. Two gentlemen who are confirmed not to be dating Taylor Swift. He's Andy.
Maybe I am. You don't know. She's gonna write a song about me. You know it.
Well, there's gonna be some bad blood, is what you're saying.
Yep.
And
I'm
Ricky.
the problem.
Am I the guy that's actually dating Taylor Swift?
Are we
then?
both?
Because it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
I love that song. I gotta admit, I'm not a big Swiftie, but I do crank that song because it's all about like depression and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, put it right into my veins.
I'm a big Swiftie. Like her 1989 album, I vibe with so much on a regular basis that it has been trapped in my Spotify for like my most listened to songs, for like my top 100 songs for like the last like at least 5 years. There's definitely bits of that soundtrack just on rotation constantly.
There's only a couple Taylor Swift songs that'll actually stop me on the radio, and one of them is Antihero, her newer one, and Style.
Yeah.
Style. Those are two that will definitely like stop me in my tracks, but everything else I'm just like, nah, pass, fam.
No, shake it off.
No, that's been done.
I'm a big Shake It Off. I'm a big Welcome to New York. You know, I'm all, that whole album. I legit front to back, between her and Carly Rae Jepsen, I am on board with their music.
I can't name you another song.
You
besides
guys laugh,
Coffee
but-
No,
Man.
I'm not laughing.
You know, I actually, right after that album, I think it was another one that came out in 2015. It was either 2015 or 2018, but it was really good. It was like a real smooth ass album. Homegirl is just like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's an energy that's like just really relaxing and chilling, and it's just like something to put on in the background and just vibe to, you know?
Is it music to study to 45 minutes of
The lo-fi hits, the
Quite
lo-fi mix
quite possibly.
studying girl on YouTube.
When I'm at my desk at work, I do turn on my Spotify, and Carly Rae is one of the people that I have playing on my speakers.
Nice. Shout out, wait, hold on, we gotta add it. Shout out Carly Rae Jepsen.
There we go.
And shout out
Yeah,
T
I was gonna
Swizzle, my nizzle.
Are we gonna? Yeah, we're shouting Taylor Swift.
Let's shout her out.
Fuck it, let's see. Yeah, shout out Taylor Swift and shout out Carly Rae Jepsen.
I cannot wait for our year in review of shout outs at the end. That would be the best episode ever. It's just a year review of our shout outs. That's all it is.
And anti shout outs.
There we go.
All right.
Wait,
so,
hold on. Can we let's do a quick review of the shout outs,
Recap
because I
here.
feel like we do it every episode. So we have a shout out right now to Maine, Hollig Myers, our Canadian friends, Vanna White, the Triads, just in case. Bruce Campbell, Daddy Todd, Shining Force 2, Ed Boone, who we're going to give another shout out to today.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Skeletor, Smothering Your Wife with a Pillow, Furries, Taylor Swift, and Carly Rae Jepsen.
There has to be more than just that. We've definitely done several calls. You're going to have to listen to all those episodes. And
I mean, we shout out our friends, which, I mean, shout out, Air Babble, Ninja, our sister podcast across the pond, the Victory Achieved podcast. We shout those guys out all the time, so I feel like they're just like, these are honorary shout outs.
Okay.
Like those guys are our main.
they already know they're worth our damn time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're worth the time to make sure they get the recognition they deserve. And we still have unshout out to Billy Mitchell barbecue sauce and Joe Lieberman.
Oh, we're not adding a Family Feud host on there?
Oh, are we? Wait, what? We're adding Family Feud hosts?
No, not the host. Not Richard.
Oh,
Karn.
Richard Dawson.
Dawson. There you go.
We're adding Richard. I think we're gonna put Richard Dawson on the unshout out list because he was totally creepy on Family Feud, but man, he was great on Match Game.
Well, there's no little girls on the Match Game, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, he was. He was always hitting on oh god, there was like some bimbo from I Dream of Jeannie that always sat to his right, and he was always hitting on her. I forget what her name is.
The main actress?
Yeah, no, not the main actress. No, she was in like odds and ends TV shows and stuff, and I can't remember what her name, but yeah. And then like he tried to hit on Betty White all the time, and she wasn't having it. even though Betty White could have gotten it 40 years ago, she could have gotten it like 5 years ago. What the fuck you're talking about?
What are you talking about? Betty White could have got it right before she croaked 2 years ago.
Could she get it now?
No, but I'm not into necrophilia like you are.
Oh,
Although I know that's the
breaking
only,
news.
I realize that's the only way for you to get laid, but that's not me.
Fuck off.
damn! Shut.
It's the only way I can get off, man. That's
We got shots fired.
Yeah, we all know the shots that Andy are firing into dead people.
Oh, and another week of getting canceled. Sweet. I don't know. Damn it. Oh,
if there are zombies, is that necrophilia? This is a classic.
We've had this discussion. We've had this discussion before, and yes, it is.
Can you catch zombification from STDs?
Zombidia.
That's if guys, we're gonna start a GoFundMe so you can actually this way we can get this movie started where one of the whole basis behind it is a guy has sex with a zombie and he spreads the zombie apocalypse through because he didn't wear a condom.
There's got to be a porn of that somewhere. And that's got to have already been made. Not us jabronis down in my basement making that up. That's got to have already be made. And I'm not going to look it up on my computer.
Maybe. I don't know.
I will wait till I get to my phone. So, are you, Rick? Actually, before we get to the game, Ricky, what have you been up to, kid?
So I know last recording I had stated that I would be going out of town to San Diego, to meet all of our wonderful fans out there while also entertaining my beautiful girlfriend for our 30-year anniversary. However,
oh no,
plans have changed and we will no longer be going out to San Diego because fuck California. No, it's not like that, Cali, I swear.
There's no Florida.
It's nothing like that. We've just we've decided to scale back the vacation and we're gonna do 2 trips instead, starting next week. So one will be to Chicago and the other one will be to Indianapolis the following weekend. So we're splitting it up into 2 smaller trips. We're both still very excited. I have literally 2 weeks of work off.
Damn.
So next Wednesday is the last day that I will work, and then I will not be back until like mid-October. Jeez. Pretty much I will be about 90% drunk the entire time.
GG.
But as far as video gaming goes, I have been on a bit of an indie streak. I have been exploring my weeb side by playing a game called Idol Manager, where I manage a group of, as you would imagine, a group of idol singers, writing their songs, producing that sort of thing.
Why did I think you were going to be like shrine, like wooden idols, and this was like a, old mystery, like a mystery, like horror themed game? But no, this is an American Idol.
I was thinking idol as in like the mob boss games and like like they play themselves in the background kind of thing.
Right.
No, so this is like an idol, like, and it's not like American, but like that's what they call them in Japan, or like they're idols, like the girl groups, like you got Blackpink or you have BTS, which is a boy idol group. You got those. That's what they're called. They're not just like boy bands or girl groups.
Shout out
idols.
Red Velvet.
That's what they,
Do you know you didn't catch that? My favorite Korean girl group, my favorite two.
I did.
Red Velvet and Twice. Yes. Come at me. Yeah, what you got?
Twice is actually
don't you shake your head at me, Andy.
I know Baby Metal.
As you should, yes. And Baby Metal is also, well, of course, Baby Metal because I listen to Baby Metal. That's why.
I got into K-pop only because I heard some of it played during the 2018 Winter Olympics when they were in they weren't in Seoul. I can't remember where they were for the 2018 Olympics.
Beijing?
It was in South Korea, but I forget the exact city. But they were playing it while they had the walk-in or whatever, and they were playing K-pop groups, and I Shazammed some of their songs. And yeah, Red Flavor by Red Velvet is a song that I think I played on repeat in my headphones like 1,000 times.
Oh, I know Psy. Does that count?
They were they were in Pyeongchang for the 2018 Winter Olympics.
Thank you.
That's pretty much where I've been at. So I've been playing that, and then I've also been playing another game that I think that both of you would like. It is called Convoy. You can buy it on the Switch, or I think you can also purchase it on the PlayStation 4. It is just like FTL, only instead of using spaceships, you are literally driving around cars.
Smokey and the Bandit style?
So you're driving around cars. I mean, like, it's like Smokey, like,
sign me up.
Some real Smokey and the Bandit, some real Death Race sort of shit, where you're driving on this barren planet trying to get your ship fixed, looking for parts. It has a bajillion pop culture references, including the kooky old scientist. It's
kind of like the Doc, but not quite.
It's everything. Yep, it has everything. And then you drive around and you load up your cars with weapons to shoot motherfuckers down with. I will say that it is a hard fucking game to play. Like,
is it super difficult?
It is. It is very, like, I have not beaten the game at all, and I've been playing it for at least 3 years now.
3 years?
I just picked it back up, but yeah, 3 years, and I've even played it on easy mode. It is just straight up brutal.
Harder than FTL?
I've beaten FTL with a few different loadouts and ships. I have played this game with several different loadouts, and you don't get new loadouts, new anything until you're like able to complete a few different tasks, and the whole time you're like, well, this fucking sucks. I am getting romper stomped, and it's all the luck of the draw too, because sometimes you start off really good and sometimes you're like, well, this was fun for like the 2 minutes that I played, like just starting off.
So you like weeby kind of games, and you like games that take forever. So why don't you just combine the two and just play Persona 5?
Persona is on my list of games to play.
Yeah, it's on my nursing home backlog.
I was actually waiting a while because there are a few other games that I do have that I want to buy. One of which is the new Mortal Kombat that just came out. So that is a plan.
Don't get it for the Switch.
But no, Persona's there. I am not buying it for the Switch. I'm buying that. I will buy a PlayStation 5 if I have to in order to buy that game before I buy it on the Switch. I saw the graphics for it on Switch. It is not that hot.
That's an understatement. I mean, Ed Boon came out and was like, yeah, we're redoing this.
It's pretty rough looking at it. You're like, boy. You know, you play the Switch, and I get not everything ports well to the Switch. That's why I only play certain things on it. Like, real low tier games, basically. And, whatever Nintendo releases, if it's like a real big AAA title, I'm not buying it on the Switch.
I'm going to quick edit this in, rewind for a split. Happy trails or whatever. Happy anniversary to Persona, Revelations Persona. It's 27 years today as of this recording.
Wow.
That's insane.
27 years. 95, really? Or 96? I can't
really?
96.
The same year Tupac died. Coincidence? I think not.
Rip.
I'm bored. Might as well.
Rip Pac. Andy, what have you been up to, kiddo?
So I've not made it to Atlanta yet. So there you go.
Nice.
And yourself?
When are you leaving, by the way?
Next Wednesday.
Oh.
Are you still muddling through Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm kind of overwhelmed with editing and work at the moment, so no, I've not had a chance to play.
I think if we ever start making money on this, you're going to get like 3/4 of my cut. How's that sound for as much work as you put into this?
So here's a little fun fact. I think I've not said this on the podcast, but for every 5 minutes of podcast, it takes about an hour to edit.
That's a bunch.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lot.
It takes about 10 hours to do a podcast.
Just wait till we start videos again,
yeah.
bud.
That's going to be fun, but that's going to be terrible.
But at least at that, I can edit the video and then I just rip the audio from it.
That's It's true. Weldy, what's going on with you? What's new in the world of the Weldersons?
I'm trying to decide and figure out what I'm gonna speed run next. I had submitted a run to the Retro Games Live Halloween special. I submitted Zombies Ate My Neighbors again. I actually also submitted Zombies Ate My Neighbors to a GDQ 2024, just in case. But I'm trying to see if I can speedrun some other games. I started making a list, and I actually got my PS2 out, hoping to try to start speedrunning Twisted Metal Black.
Oh, nice.
I've been ever since we recorded last. I played Among Us with Faking It with Jason and Just Right and Kamikaze and Grim and the Tones, and that was a good time. And I've been playing a lot of Valheim with Sir Ted and Blink, and just more. I'm having more fun playing games with others and then playing games on my own than I am streaming. I mean, not that I'm not having fun, because I'm streaming Skyrim still.
Garfield run.
Hell yeah, the Garfield run's going great. I only died like 18 times. So it was like the SpongeBob episode. I'll have you know, I pricked my finger and I only cried for 20 minutes. But other than that, I'm just looking for other games to speedrun. I'm kind of winding down towards the end of the year, and hopefully I can start getting back into some games I was speedrunning before, and obviously doing the podcast here with yous, which is a great time, and just kind of waiting for fall to start.
Or what you could do as a Halloween thing, with October coming up here, old spooky season, you should record yourself doing a speed run of the game, the PlayStation classic Medieval.
I actually just got a physical copy of Medieval. That's one of the 2 games that was going to complete my video game library. Like, I was going to be 100% satisfied with my library, and everything else was going to be just gravy. I wanted a physical copy of Medieval, and I'm still looking for the physical copy of Tomba. And then someday I will own a sealed copy of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and I feel like that'll be like, yeah, someday I will own it. Those are the only 3 like holy grail kind of items I've been looking for. So I got my Medieval. I would be remiss in lying if I said I wasn't at least pawing at the idea of speedrunning Silent Hill 3.
Oh,
I've been just doing preliminary work. I've just been like watching the videos and, you know, running the first 3 to 4 minutes just to kind of get my feet wet a little bit. Nothing really came from it. That was back in July, but maybe I can get back into it in October or something.
ready to go into games?
I'm about this. Go for it.
Are you about the game, or are you about speedrunning Silent Hill 3?
All of it, bud. I want all of it.
Good. You're gonna get the game first. Is it this or is it that? Andy and Ricky have to choose. All right. So I've been going on a theme lately with my games, and I've been able to find a game that corresponds to the night's episode. And I got another one for you. So your category for this game is MK or TB.
Taco Bell.
Close.
Dang.
So
Either way, my guts start shooting out all over the place.
well,
Oh, no.
shout out Taco Bell because they got rid of the 7-layer burrito. I will die on that hill. I don't know why they got rid of it. It's literally all of the toppings put on a tortilla. How the hell did they take it off the menu?
Shout out Taco Bell, because it was my first job, and it's literally how me and Andy ended up meeting and becoming best friends forever.
And yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for that too, but where's my 7-layer? This is ridiculous. Do I need to call my congressman?
Yes. Call Joe Lieberman.
Yes.
Damn it, you beat me to it. Nicely done. It's literally, it's rice, beans, guac, sour cream, cheese, lettuce, and tomato. It's all of the toppings on a giant tortilla. Why is that not on the menu? They have all of the toppings available at their disposal.
How much does that weigh, Ricky?
Ooh, I believe that was about 7. Hold on. Hold on. Actually, hold on. Give me a second. Let me do the quick math for this. I actually 1.5.
I'm telling you, that's been my order.
2.
It was two 7-layer burritos and a drink. That's been my order since I was 5. I was 5 years old. It's my same order I get. 2 7-layers, and then when I was really fat, it was 3 7-layers. And then I had to and then I was waiting for somebody to be like, "Oh, so now?" And I was gonna reach across this goddamn table. No, 2 7-layers, and then it went from like I want a juicy juice or a lemonade. No, and then I just switched to Diet Pepsi or Diet Mountain Dew. But yeah, man, 2 7-layer burritos and a Diet Mountain Dew, that slapped super hard. And it was like $7, and it was just like, this is great.
To answer your question, 7.6 ounces should be the correct weight for it.
Yeah, so I'm almost getting a full pound of 7-layer burrito when I get 2. Which means when I was 99 pounds and I would eat 2 7-layer burritos, I would be almost 1% 7-layer burrito. Let that sink in.
I can't give you a correct. I don't know. I thought it was 8.9 or 8.1. I'm sorry.
So,
Can't find anything online.
No, that's...
Yeah, you can't find it because it's gone. It disappeared. The 7-layer doesn't exist on the internet anymore. I've tried to duplicate the recipe and I can't, and it pisses me off. All right, but enough getting pissed off about 7-layer burritos.
You know what? I'm not going to sit up and dispute taco weights. So if we have any of our listeners out there that actually work at Taco Bell, let us
shoot us an email.
Tell us because, send us an email
Retrosmash
and let us know like how bad, how far off we are.
That's how we're going to get our viewers, by them telling us. If you... I'm telling you, it was like a full pound of food, and it was great, and it was like enough to fill you up for an afternoon until I got back for dinner for 2 more 7-layers.
But it wasn't I guess if you had 2 of them, then yeah, pretty close. Definitely not that good, honestly. There were better items on the menu, so I see why they got rid of it.
Well, there were. Well, okay, now hold on, time out before we get into our game. So the power burritos were like the same thing, except they had actually chicken on them. Chicken and beef, like it was
the black beans in there and corn.
Yeah, and it was the same thing. It was all the vegetables, and then you add it, and then it had a crispy outside, which was great. So I switched to that for a little while too.
All right, go on with this game.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm getting re pissed off again. Okay, so MK or TB. So I'm gonna give you a list of 7 names. You have to tell me if each of the names on the list is either a character from the Mortal Kombat series,
all right,
or a running back, receiver, tight end, fullback, any football player that has caught a touchdown pass from Tom Brady during his career.
Did you see old boy break his leg, by the way?
Which old boy?
I don't know the football player's name because I don't watch football.
Oh, Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Like stepping out.
Oh, God, yeah, Nick Chubb. Oh, that was gross. Those grody injuries I watch one time. Like, I'm like, I want to watch it one time, and I get grossed out. I'm like, ugh. That was terrible.
Sorry.
No, you're good. All right, so you kids ready? Now that we're 32 minutes in, we're finally getting to our game. This is a good episode. I like this.
Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah. All right. Number 1, Jabbar.
Jabroni.
That's a touchdown pass right there. That's a Brady right there.
Yeah, I'm a football player also.
It is. Jabbar Gaffney caught 7 touchdown passes from Tom Brady during his career. Number 2, Taven.
I'm sticking with football.
Mortal Kombat.
It is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Fun fact, they couldn't come up with a better name. They didn't come up with Taven until the last minute, so during production, they called him Bob.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great.
Number 3, Darius.
I'm sticking football.
That's Mortal Kombat.
It is Mortal Kombat.
Damn it.
The leader of the Alliance in Mortal Kombat Deception. So Ricky's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Andy, you got to catch up, man. Yeah. You got this. I got faith in you.
Hail Mary, baby.
There. Oh.
Yes, Darius was from the chaos realm, as I remember. Black bald guy.
Oh,
well, damn!
He wore sunglasses.
Ray's gonna have this.
Hey, Andy, I think you're out of your element. All right, number 4, Co Kieft.
What is that name again?
Co Kieft.
Football.
I'm gonna say Mortal Kombat in hopes that I get a point.
It is football.
Damn it!
Caught 1 touchdown pass from Tom Brady during his year as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. I think it was one of those where I think it was Brady's last year when all of his receivers were hurt and he just kind of was filling in one of those things. I really don't want to look it up right now because I really don't care. Number 5, Vereen.
That has to be a Mortal Kombat character.
That's NFL.
It is a Tom Brady receiver. It's a running back. Shane Vereen during his years with the Patriots, caught 7 touchdown passes out of the backfield for Tom Brady. Yeah. Come on, you got to get 2. You got to get 2, Andy. You got it. All right. Number 6, Jarek.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
It is Mortal Kombat. There you go. You got your second one.
All right, Ricky. Can you get the
Rick's
sweep?
perfect on the night. He's 6 for 6, isn't he?
Yeah.
Damn, son. Mortal Kombat for a member of the Black Dragon Clan. You like dragons, Andy?
These nuts.
I almost had you.
Almost
caught you slipping. Well, I'm caught you slipping this entire game. Good.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna get 50%, but that's okay. But you gotta redeem yourself.
Next game.
There you go. You got this. Number 7, Gage.
MK.
Wait,
Can you get
wait, say that again.
Gage. Gage.
Gage?
Gage. Yeah.
Oh no, that's football as fuck.
Ricky goes 7 for 7.
Fuck you, dude. Damn. Again.
I am a fucking Mortal Kombat fanatic.
Mortal Kombat and freaking.
I love this shit. I eat, sleep, and I am a big Mortal Kombat fan. You will not catch me slipping on any of that. If given an opportunity, I would name 64 fucking characters right now.
God, which is great because there's only 77 playable characters in the entire universe. That's impressive. By the way, side note, narrator, Russell Gage caught 4 touchdown passes from Tom Brady during his career with the Buccaneers.
See, he's football as fuck.
He caught 4.
That's still football as fuck. That's more than I've ever caught in my life.
That's
fair.
I was gonna make a catching balls joke, but I'm too classy for this shit.
Sure, you are.
My relish notebook retires until next week until Andy. Oh shit! What was the name of Johnny Depp's girlfriend that pooped all over the bed? That pooped the bed.
Jesus!
Amber Heard. Yeah. Until
are you talking about
until Andy Amber Heard's all over the place next week's game.
God.
Just so we're keeping record for everyone to know, this is the second time that I have clean swept the fuck out of Andy by getting all the answers correct.
It's actually impressive. Like, you've gone for the sweep and Andy's gone less than 50%.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're doing it.
He's cheating. He has Google in his hand.
It's the same reason that anytime I'm out in public, I always make sure I'm drinking alcohol with my left hand. Even if we're not all together, I always make sure I have it in my left hand because I'm in zero mood to get buffaloed. I know you're going to like fucking pop out of the seat in front of me at the tin caps, or you're going to be the umpire one of these days. I'm going to grab a beer from the beer guy with my right hand and you're just going to stop the game, look at me and go, Buffalo.
All right, ready to get into today's topic?
Yeah. Andy, we'll go to you for the first topic of the main topic. Tell me, what was your favorite Mortal Kombat growing up?
First one?
The OG?
I mean, I played 2, 3. 3 was fun. And then there's a big, long pause. And then eventually Mortal Kombat versus DC. And then whatever the last Mortal Kombat that's not out quite yet was, where Ricky just destroyed us that one night. And I never played it again because I hate Ricky.
What a fantastic of investment of like $120.
I was gonna say
one night of enjoyment, and
you become a living legend.
2 hours long, and everybody went to their bedrooms after that, and it was like done for the night.
Did you do one of those things where it's like the winner stays on the console and the loser has to pass the controller?
Yep, I stayed on for most of it, and at a certain point I was like, all right, well, I'll just give up sticks. And everybody was like, nah, fuck this, dude. I don't want to play anymore. This isn't fun. You took all the fun out of playing Mortal Kombat. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. And they're like, no, go fuck yourself.
Well, wait, hold on, Ricky, who's your main? I'm curious.
I'm a Sub-Zero main, but it also
Respect.
depends on who's available in the pack.
So which one were you guys playing when you were destroying people? Because I'm kind of curious.
This was Mortal Kombat X.
Oh.
Yeah. That makes sense because that's about the time, like right before a few of us moved out of the house. So,
well, Andy, I got to ask you, who's your main in X?
I just picked whoever was there.
Well, see, and that's your problem.
I don't know any of the combos. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, you don't know.
I'm the button smasher guy.
Yeah, well, no wonder you're getting your ass kicked. You gotta train. You gotta train like Rocky did when he went to go fight Ivan Drago. You gotta put a picture of Ricky up on your mirror and then tear it down and then climb to the top of a snowy mountain and just yell Ricky or whatever. I don't know.
I'm sorry. This is actually a course correction. It was Mortal Kombat 11
I was
is what
just
it
about to
was.
mention.
That was the most recent game that came out. So that was the one that we played back in 2019 because I had just moved back home and we were like, yeah, let's sit up and buy this game. And we set up, bought it, and I would like to play Mortal Kombat again, guys.
He swept us just like he did. Yeah,
Well,
it's coming out soon.
I have the newest one, Mortal Kombat 1, is out now, but Mortal Kombat 1, what the hell do they call it? Just Mortal Kombat 1 OG? Because
one.
is it just
You can just call it. You could just call it OG. Honestly, everybody knows. Like you got Mortal Kombat 1, and then it's just called Mortal Kombat. Honestly,
This is the third time it's just called Mortal Kombat because there was a
unless you're talking about Mortal Kombat 9, which was also called Mortal
in
Kombat.
2011.
Yeah, well, it's like Twisted Metal did the same thing because they had the Twisted Metal from 1995, and then when they did a new Twisted Metal in 2011 for the PS3, they called it also Twisted Metal. They didn't call it Twisted Metal 7 or 8. They just called it Twisted Metal. So people are like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Well, it's kind of weird with Mortal Kombat because it still follows like the same exact timeline. It's like straight up like the same timeline from like the beginning of the first series. So the fact that they didn't call Mortal Kombat 9 it's kind of weird, honestly.
What was your first Mortal Kombat? I guess I'll ask both of you guys before I kind of chime in. What was your first Mortal Kombat you remember playing?
Definitely the first one.
Definitely number 2.
Interesting. So you
That was the first one I remember playing.
So I'm assuming, Andy, you played it on the
Arcades.
Oh, you played in the arcades.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ricky, did you play yours in arcades too, or did you just have a?
No, I played mine in arcades, and I also played it on Sega as well.
I feel like Sega was always the better version for the Mortal Kombat games. Like it just looked more crisp. Your fatalities were just so much better. Even when Nintendo decided to add blood to to 2 and 3.
I would say, yeah, like, they finally started adding blood after a while, but I started playing in arcades. One of the barbershops that I went to as a kid had like a couple of arcades inside of it. So I got to play Mortal Kombat as a kid because I was like, the barber knew who I was and knew who my dad was. And he was like, hey, what you like to play? And he asked me, and I was like, well, I like these games. And he was like, okay, cool. And came back a few weeks later. Then he was like, I know a guy. And we got like Mortal Kombat inside of the fucking barber shop.
Oh, that's tight as hell. That is awesome.
How old were you?
This was like when we lived in Detroit, not in Fort Wayne.
Well, so you were still second grade, third grade?
Yeah, I was like 4 or 5 at this point, mind you.
Oopsies.
And the guy had asked, and I had to get like a little step stool so I could stand up to the arcade, and like I just wasn't like staring up, stretching my arms at it the whole time.
I will say, Ricky, 4 or 5-year-old Ricky was probably good, but you are not as good as my daughter at Mortal Kombat. I've got her beating the computer. Like, she actually, with Sonya Blade, is beating like Scorpion, and I actually watched her rage quit one day. It was adorable. It was her first video game rage quit. She ran and jumped. She got mad because she lost to Johnny Cage, ran through the kitchen, jumped on the couch, and buried her face in a pillow because she lost like 4 times in a row. I'm like, oh, you are still so much better at Mortal Kombat than I ever was.
She's gonna throw the controller.
Joke's on you, bud. The next time I'm down that way, I am romper stomping the shit out of your kid.
Well, now I got to put her in the Rocky training montage.
I show no amounts of, oh, well, it's a kid, so I'm not gonna. Nah, fuck that. I'm beating the shit out of your kids.
Finish her.
Yeah. Sonya got her head and spine pulled out of her body.
Yep. Just you wait.
Oh, I bet you probably will, but I hope she at least puts up a good fight because I've taught her like jumping, and her thing is she can't jump and remember to hit the buttons at the same time. But if she gets into a rhythm where she like does the jump kick and come down with the jump kick, she gets into a good rhythm without using any of the actual special the pink lasers that shoot out from Sonya's hands or whatever.
Let her do that jump kick on me, and I'm gonna uppercut the fuck out of her.
You're gonna send her down to the.
That's the perfect counter for that. I am. She's gonna. Whoop! And I'm like, "Hurrah!"
Can you make that sound effect our cold open? I don't want any other thing at the cold open. I just want that sound effect like 5 times.
Something I was going to bring up about last week about the ESRB stuff was the friendship finishers came because of the ESRB.
Oh, really? Did they really?
Yep. I forgot to bring that up last week.
Mortal Kombat was actually. It's funny you say that because I've been reading the book. Ari and Serta actually left a book for Meg and myself when they came to Indiana. Shout out to both of those guys. It said the book is What Video Games Have to Teach Us About Learning and Literacy from James Paul G. Page 11, there's a very interesting excerpt, and I want your guys' opinion on this now that we're going back to the whole gray area between last week's episode and this week's episode, because Mortal Kombat has a lot to do with the ESRB, but we want to focus on Mortal Kombat by itself. But I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. But this book says, quote, none of the current research even remotely suggests video games lead to real-life violence in any predictable way. As a good many people already know, since it has been pointed out by conservative politicians and policymakers as a sign of the effectiveness of their social policies, there has been a pronounced decrease in violent crime since the earlier 1990s, the very time when violent video games were introduced. For example, Mortal Kombat, Doom, and Quake. Even more to the point, if playing violent video games lead to a statistical increase in violence, we should see a rise in violent crime, say after QuakeCon each year, an event which draws thousands of gamers to play violent games. So far, no one has found any such thing. On the other hand, some researchers have argued that video games have beneficial effects in regard to violence. For example, that teens use violent video games as a way to manage feelings of anger or as an outlet for feelings or a lack of self-control. Let me ask you this. Was there any better feeling in the world than getting pissed off at a friend while you guys were playing and then you beat him and then you tear his goddamn skull off? Was there any better feeling in the world?
I was trying to figure out how to do the real world equivalent of that.
RKO welding through the couch.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I figured it out. Yep, RKO and Weldy and spear through the couch. You are correct, sir.
And you speared me when I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now, which was impressive. It was you were parallel to the ground both times. I don't know how you did it.
The alcohol carried me through. They say that Red Bull gives you wings. Alcohol gives you wings also.
Red Bull and Jaeger gives you wings. There you go. There's your wings. So let's talk about this. It's the original Mortal Kombat arcade game spawned a franchise consisting of action and adventure games, a comic book series, a card game, films, an animated TV series, and a live-action tour. Mortal Kombat has become the best-selling fighting game franchise worldwide and one of the highest-grossing media franchises of all time. Did you guys see the newest Mortal Kombat movie, or did everybody just fall in love with the original one, which was so awesomely bad? It was great.
There is a second new one.
The new movie wasn't... I actually enjoyed the new movie, honestly. It wasn't that bad. I also enjoyed the web series, too. The web series that came out, like, over 10 years ago or whatever. What was it? That was, like, on Rooster Teeth or some shit like that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Phaelus, if you look up Phaelus on YouTube, he does a bunch of Mortal Kombat review stuff, too.
Nice. Both of those were really good, reimaginings of Mortal Kombat. I'm about it. The only Mortal Kombat movie that I hated was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That shit sucked.
Agreed.
That felt like a cash grab just for the fuck of a cash grab, but it flopped so hard.
So you're on a desert island. You can only have 2 Mortal Kombat games out of the entire series. So we're going desert island. You can only keep 2. Which 2 are you guys keeping?
Second one and this, I guess the newest one, because I haven't played it yet.
Oh, interesting take.
I would say Trilogy and Deadly Alliance.
You were a Deadly Alliance fan.
I was.
Interesting. I never played that.
It was a really cool. I thought it was a really cool direction to see how the franchise would go once, spoiler alerts if you haven't played this game yet in 20 years, to see how things went after they killed Liu Kang. And it introduced a lot of different characters to so many different characters to the franchise. I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, honestly.
Did you play any of the weird offshoots like Motor Combat or the puzzle game one?
Yeah, and those little mini games were inside of there. There was like a Tetris Combat, the Motor Combat. There was also and I love doing like the Test Your Might ones. Those little mini games are always a blast.
Test Your Might.
I feel like the Test Your Might games on the original like systems, like the original Super Nintendo system, the Test Your Might. I think the only thing harder than those was the NFL Quarterback Club Challenge. You said you had to have a spoon to like rub the one where you try to throw it for distance. You had to like have a spoon and hit all the buttons at the same time and hit them like over and over. That was almost what the Test Your Might was about.
I was gonna say like I would see Test Your Might as also a comparison of like Street Fighter when you had to break the fucking cars. Like the mid stage, they'd be like, you know when you get to the car, there's the car on the docks, and then you got to break the car down and shit like that. And you're like, this shit sucks.
And some guy comes back, it's like, where the fuck's my car, man? By the way, in case you were curious, and
dude,
Andy, you said,
where's my car?
Dude, where's my car? In case you were curious, Andy, IGN gave Mortal Kombat on the Switch, which has caused a lot of controversy recently. Gave Mortal Kombat on the Switch a 3 out of 10.
Ow! Wow!
Yeah,
wow.
Says the verdict for this one said Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch is nowhere close to the experience you'll have with the PS5, Xbox Series S, or PC. There's a hint of great fighting games still peeking through the blurry backgrounds, but its horrendous load times, inconsistent frame rate, muddy visuals, and plethora of bugs makes the Switch version an altogether aggravating way to play what is a great fighting game on other platforms. It quite simply shouldn't have released in this state and simply not at a price that's equal to the superior current gen versions.
I don't disagree with that rating.
So you're not playing it on the Switch. What did you say you were playing the new one on?
So I haven't played the newest one yet.
Oh, you said you were going to get a PS5.
Mortal Kombat 1 yet.
Yeah, you're going to say you were going to get a PS5.
Yes, I absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to spoil myself, get a PlayStation 5, and then I'm going to buy it.
Was there a better Return to Glory game? And when I say Return to Glory, there's been quite a few Return to Glory kind of games out there. One thing is like when Mega Man 11 came out, after Mega Man 10 and that long hiatus, or when Metroid Dread finally dropped, like 2D Metroid games, just kind of games like that haven't been around for a while, and all of a sudden, bam, there's like a brand new one. Was there any kind of a Return to Glory game better than Mortal Kombat 9?
It's so funny that you say that because Mortal Kombat Deception had just came out like 3 or 4 years before that. But I did enjoy Mortal Kombat 9 because it rebooted it. It was like a reboot to the entire universe, and now we're at a point where it's really entertaining. Honestly, I'm enjoying it. I don't know. I've enjoyed every single Mortal Kombat game that has come out, but Mortal Kombat 9 was definitely a really good return to form sort of deal. Like, hey, this is the game that you grew up loving. Now, this is what it looks like with the best graphics out there in a time like now you get to enjoy the original story with a bit of a twist to it.
Man, that's always what I hope they were going to do with Twisted Metal 2. Like, honestly, that's what I always hoped they were going to do with Twisted Metal 2, and I never got it. And I totally agree with you. Well, you've played all the Mortal Kombat games. Is there one that I guess, Andy, I can ask you too, is there one that you think just like, I could do without it? I could just throw in the trash, and I really wouldn't care. And I want to say out of the games that you've played, maybe, like, because I wouldn't throw Deadly Alliance. I haven't played Deadly Alliance. But I have personally played 1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3. Mortal Kombat 4 for me was kind of wonky, so I think that would be my trash game. I watched somebody play DC versus Mortal Kombat, which I thought was the weirdest like crossover I ever loved. Played the heck out of Mortal Kombat 9. I watched enough Mortal Kombat 10 with the like through Evo and stuff like that, and I watched the hell out of those. Didn't really get into 11. I had it on the Switch. Didn't really like play it a whole lot because it took too much space, and I don't think I'm going to get the new one. But I would say Mortal Kombat 4 for me would be the one that I'd be like, that was the first one on the N64, and I'm like, I could do without it. What about you guys?
Yeah, there's actually 2 of them that I could do without. It's got these are games that no one probably ever even heard about to begin with, but one is the Mortal Kombat Mythologies,
I was going to bring
which
that up.
is basically the backstory between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which came out on the original PlayStation. And the other one is Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, which is pretty much the backstory for Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Both of those games are trash.
What was the one where
That's the best. That's the nicest way to put it.
What was the one where Sub-Zero was like a detective and it was like a platformer and it was like really weird, but that wasn't Deadly Alliance, was it?
No.
That's what the Mythologies one was.
Oh, that's what Mythologies was.
So you didn't bring up.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat Special Forces was the other.
That's
third
the one
one
I was
is
thinking
garbage.
of. Yes.
I did not. I didn't even think. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, their spinoff games. While I love the idea of giving characters like a whole ass game to you get to enjoy their backstory. You get more of the character like development from it. It does not work at all, unfortunately.
I think that's the one
like
thing that
they could stick with the comic books, and you can give me my online wikis for all that, or like short YouTube videos. But I do not need you to make a whole video game for something that could be explained in like a 10-minute YouTube clip.
Did you have a favorite special character that came out?
Ooh.
So not necessarily anybody from the main line, but like a copyrighted character or someone like Noobbot.
Well, I know Fanic Fox when I think was it Fanic Fox or Sonic Fox when he won Evo or E-League or whatever. I think it was E-League. Won it as the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was a very interesting, and that, by the way, that was a great add. I think all the extra characters they added on, you know, even from adding Kratos to 4.
I got a small list here.
Or from adding Kratos to 9. Oh, I'm sorry, you have a list?
Yep. So Freddy Krueger, Kratos, like you said, Jason Voorhees, the alien from Alien, Leatherface, the Predator, the Terminator, RoboCop, Spawn, Omni-Man, Rambo, and Homelander, and then also and Peacemaker. I forgot that's in there too, and then Joker.
I haven't gotten a chance to see the new gameplay or even get to experience the new gameplay with the newest game, so I can't speak on those. However, I did enjoy the Freddy Krueger edition. Him being added as a special character. It reminds me, like his moveset and the way he kind of moves a little bit, it reminds me of Volvo from the Soul Calibur series. There we go. Soul Calibur.
I thought you may say Vega from Street Fighter just because the whole blades at the end of the hands kind of forward jab kind of thing. I thought you might say
honestly, well, I mean Volvo also has the blades as well.
Right, fair.
But they're all three of them, while they have blades, they do have different styles, but they're still very similar because of the way you have to wield blades. So
okay, so we're already at like an hour, 7 minutes for the recording, whether or not you're going to edit this down a lot. So not a whole lot of time left for a happy time, but I got a couple of happy times to throw out there. So happy time, people. Happy 21st. They can finally get a drink today. Happy 21st anniversary Crazy Taxi 3 for the Sega. Happy 23rd anniversary Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, arguably the best soundtrack of all time.
Hell yeah.
And then my
definitely, not even arguably.
And well, I guess we have a previous episode where I'm like, that's a little arguable, but and then probably my favorite happy times we've had so far. Happy Trails, all the cheese in your fridge. The food company Kraft Heinz has issued a voluntary recall after nearly 84,000 cases of individually wrapped American cheese were deemed to potentially contain choking hazards.
Yummy.
I mean, I think they were saying,
oh no, my cave cheese is bad.
I think they were saying some of the some of the cheese wrapper was holding onto the slice, but you know, we already inhale like what did you say, Andy, earlier? A credit
card's worth of plastic a year.
Plastic every year.
Our parents had lead. We get plastic.
Yeah, that's what makes the world go around. Any final thoughts? Anybody?
Give us some emails, retrosmashed@gmail.com.
You can follow us on Twitter at retro_smashed for all of our latest updates. And you can follow me on It's the Afro King on YouTube for all of my fantastic old retro videos. And we'll be looking at uploading some more
and you
soon.
can follow me at WeldyTime on Twitch and YouTube, and WeldyTime1 on Twitter. Well, on behalf of all of us here at Retro Smash Video Game Podcast, good night, Canada.
Bye.
Finish him!
There you go.
Johnny Cage, Jax, Sub-Zero,
Chun-Li.
Scorpion, Bad Mr. Frosty, the King.
Jack's off.
Sanya, my dick.
What?
I don't know. I'm not as good as this anymore as I used to be.